Okay, I think we're ready to go. I think I've pressed all the right buttons. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me on this Essential Balance Tools webinar. Now, I don't want to make it too long, but I want to just go through 20, I think I've got 20 or 21 different balance tools for you today. So let me just tell you a bit about me. I'm Aerlie. I am a life coach. I'm a qualified life coach in health and wellness. I have a diploma in life coaching. So I coach mums around balance and all the different ways that you can feel more balanced. So it's kind of like problem solving to help you feel more in control and less stressed, managing the running a business and having a family and all the things that happen in your life that impact on your balance, because there are so many things going on. It can be really hard to feel balanced and feel like you're making progress and that you're not getting distracted and you're getting things done. So that's what I do, and I love doing it, and I love seeing mums just make little tweaks in their life so that they get that bit of that sense of that they're improving, and that they're getting better, and that life is happier and not as hard work all the time, because sometimes it can be hard work. So I have, I don't know if you know, but I'm a big fan of Evernote, and so I've got my notes here on my iPad. So when you see me looking, that's what I'm looking at, all my notes. But I could screen share it with you, but I think it's better that you see me and get to know me and see what I'm doing. My hands tend to move around a bit too fast, so I'll try and manage that for you. Okay, so balance is something that I've struggled with in the past. When I worked part-time, I worked 4 days a week. It was really hard, and I used to get to work and wonder if I'd made lunch for my daughter properly, or if I'd put in, you know, enough food for her, because I was so focused on my work and I didn't feel balanced at all. I was always trying to catch up, and I hated that sense of rush. I got addicted to that sense of rush that, you know, can impact on your life so much, and you get used to being rushed. But you know, sometimes when you do take that step back and slow down a bit, you do get a better sense of what's important and what's not, what to stress about and what to focus on, and what to spend your time doing, so that you get that sense of feel good feeling. You know, I can't think of any better word to describe it. That feel good feeling you get from doing something that you love, or getting that love from your kids that when you're rushing about, you usually don't get. And you know, you notice things more, and and they're things that make you feel good. All of that stuff. I used to rush around everywhere, and I had to work very hard at still getting lots of things done, but doing it in a way that made me happy and managed that sense of rush and helped me feel balanced. So, you know, when I started my business, I was a bit all over the place. And, you know, when you start working from home, there are so many distractions. I could tidy up, I could do the dishes, I could hang out the washing instead of working, or, you know, the other way around, I could do all my work and not get any of that home stuff done. So there needs to be balance. There needs to be time to focus, time to be creative, time to just do the work, time to spend with your family, time to feel organized. And so you need systems for that, systems to help you get organized and help you stay on top of everything. And this is where I come in, really, and this is where I did a huge amount of work for myself to get that stuff in my head and to get those systems in place. And once I had those systems and they started working for each other and working on each other and making my life easier, it all started to fall into place a bit better, and that sense of rush just left me more, and I could enjoy things a bit more, enjoy my family more. So that's what I want to show you, a few tools that I've developed and that I use personally to help you with that. Okay, so I'll give you a list of these as well later as a downloadable. I'll send it out to you, so don't worry about that. I've based this around 5 different areas, and I call them pillars of balance, but pillars is not quite the right word, but they're maybe systems. They're 5 types of systems that you need, and these are all the tools that you need to manage those systems. So the systems are systems for planning and preparation, systems for having clarity and managing all the information that's in your head, systems for energy, to have energy in your day to do the things that you want to do, systems for time management and getting things done and managing distractions, and systems for your mindset. So they're the 5 areas of balance that I'm going to be looking at today, and showing you tools for each one that, you know, probably you have some of them, maybe most of them, but hadn't looked at it in this way. And some of them might be new to you, and you'll start using them because mostly they're all free, and, you know, some is a pen and paper, some are apps, some are programs, you know, all different. They're all still tools that I use for balance. Okay, so let's get into it. I think it will be, I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to just get started, I think is the best way to do it, because I hate webinars that go for ages. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it. First, a system is planning and preparation. So this is a huge part of balance, because when you do the planning, it helps that stress. It helps you manage that stress because you don't have that chaos in your head of what do I need to do next? What's happening next? Oh, I forgot about that, you know. And if you have a plan for things, it instantly eases that stress and that pressure. So my first tool is a to-do list, because you can put everything in a to-do list. You can, everything that's going around in your head that you need to do from all different areas of your life. And it's also a really good way of working out what's important versus what's urgent. Oh, I don't have it with me. I have a to-do list. It's just on a little A5 piece of paper. It's got a couple of columns, and the first column is it important or is it urgent? Because quite often you can get caught in the trap, and I've been guilty of this a lot, of getting caught in the trap of doing everything that's urgent, but it means that the important stuff never gets done or is always pushed back and pushed back because of the urgent things. So finding a balance, just and identifying what's urgent and what's important, means that you can almost, you know, find a system, alternate the urgent with the important, the urgent with the important, or whatever, so that you get both of those things done. Then on my list I have the task, then I have is it done, or do I need to transfer it to tomorrow? So that means that it's like a daily to-do list. And I must have another column which is priority. Priority is the most important part of your to-do list. To know what is number one is the most important part of your to-do list. And once you've done that, you can do number 2. And so you don't have to write out your to-do list and then think, oh, well, which one do I do first? Or when you come and sit down and you've got just a small amount of time to work while your child is sleeping, you know, it might be 40 minutes, it might be an hour and a half, but if you're spending the first 10, 15 minutes fluffing around because you don't have a number 1 on your list to go, right, let's get to work, then you've wasted time. And, you know, we need all the little bits of time that we can get. So it just helps with that clarity and that planning and deciding what's first, what's second, what's third. It's very important. Okay, having a monthly, a weekly and a daily plan related to goals is also really important. And that's my number 2 tool. So having monthly plans, weekly plans, daily plans, because you can see what's going on in your life, where the busy times are, so that you can balance it out and even it out so that you're not having really busy times and planning and inadvertently planning busy days when you're already having a massively busy work in another part of your life. It's got to be overall. It has to be, otherwise you'll go crazy and you'll have times that are more stressful than they need to be. This sometimes does happen in life, but if you can plan around it and plan for it and make it easier, then that's even better. You know, so a daily list so that you know what's happening in your day and you're not being overwhelmed by having a huge daily list, because and you're moving things from your daily list to the next day to the next day. But if you have a weekly plan and then you can even it out, then you only need to do certain things on certain days, and it's just more manageable, less stressful. Okay, so that's that one. Number 3 for planning, my third tool is having a meal planner. And if you know me, you know that I love Evernote, and I use my own freedom framework, which is something I've designed myself, and I use that for meal planning, and it is the quickest you have ever seen. The quickest. Like I've scanned my recipes into Evernote, I've tagged them. I can tag chicken and I get 10 recipes and I can pick 3, and it is as quick as that. They're my 3 chicken recipes for the week. And then I can write down my shopping list and off I go, and it's done because my recipes are in my freedom framework. I'll tell you more about that later, but it is so quick and it's all there in one place. No clutter, no recipes sort of pinned to the board or you know, on sticky notes or in folders in different places. It's all in one place. The 4th tool for planning is having a calendar. And in a perfect world, I would love to have a calendar synced with my husband. But he's got a dumb phone, not a smartphone, and all it does is make phone calls. So we can't sync our calendars. So we have a written one that we have up in the house, but I use it to put up everything that the family does so that he can see when there might be clashes and he can plan for anything around him. But, you know, being able to see that and have that plan for the month and know what's going on week to week is obviously very helpful. That's nothing new to you. And my 5th tool for planning and preparation is routines. You know, routines are a tool. They need to be made to work for you. You need to be proactive in having routines that serve you rather than just thinking of them as doing chores or getting the jobs done. I like to create routines that serve me. So I incorporate the chores, but throughout that routine time zone, like it might be from, you know, 6 till 8:30 in the morning, I'll have things in there that are for me, like having a green smoothie or having an extra long shower, you know, having some things in there that aren't just about doing jobs. But it also means that I don't have to carry that stuff in my brain. If there's a routine, I don't have to remember from day to day or from week to week, you know, for putting the bins out. Or, you know, things like that. I don't have to keep that information in my head. If I put it into my freedom framework or a piece of paper that's, you know, this is my routine for Thursday. It's getting lunches, working out what we're doing on the weekend, tidying up, doing the dishes, putting the bins out, cleaning the bathroom, because Thursday's bathroom day. Then I don't have to keep all that in my head, and I know that I've got that time, and I can also plan things for me. I've got time to do some exercise, so that's an exercise day for me. So, you know, I can plan my routine and make it work for me rather than just think of it as a dreary thing that I have to do. It is more energizing if you can work through your routine, get it done quicker. You know, if the quicker you get those things done in your routine, the more time you've got to do other things. The more you do your routine, the quicker you get. So, you know, it all feeds on itself to give you more time, get things done, as well as helping yourself. You know, and that's what it's all about. And it's that planning and preparation that you need to do before that that will help you get to that point. Okay, so now I'm moving on to clarity and information management. So, you know, I talk a lot about the stuff that goes on in our heads and the information that we carry in there. And, you know, I don't know if you're like me, but I used to keep everything in my head. I never used to have a diary. I always used to remember everything. But when I had my first child, kind of used to forget a few things. Second child, it was a disaster because there's more and more that I was keeping in my head, and I was using my head to be to just remember information rather than to think and to feel and to have space, to have time for myself and to feel less stressed. And, you know, by the time you've got 2 kids and a business or working part-time, they're the times that you need more space and less stress. So that's when I created the Freedom Framework, and that's where it's an information system that is my second brain. It's something I can access everywhere. It means that my mind is less cluttered. It means that my kitchen bench is less cluttered because I don't have lots of little bits of paper going everywhere to remind me of things. I've got those systems in place, and that gives me more clarity. It means there's a system I can trust, and I don't have to lie awake at night thinking about things I've got to remember because it's already there. So it's that clarity. So that's one tool, Evernote, and the Freedom Framework is tool number 6 that sits under clarity and information management. I manage my show and tell schedule for my daughter so that I have a reminder every Monday morning to look at the show and tell calendar and find out what we need to take for show and tell. I use it for my meal planning. I use it for my passwords. I use it for remembering what my husband did every anniversary for the last 13 years. And, you know, it's just information that I don't need to keep in my head, and it's there, and I don't have to put a piece of paper and try and remember where that piece of paper is. It's all in one place, and it just makes life so much easier. The clothes sizes for my girls, presents that they are, you know, toys that they're interested in that I don't have to remember if someone asks, you know, it's their birthday. I can just go there and it's there. And that's the beauty of it. It just gives me so much more clarity and manages that information for me, and I can access it anywhere, anytime. My 7th tool for clarity is goals, having personal goals, having business goals or work goals, and having family goals. Family goals like doing something every weekend together as a family, or sitting at the table when you have dinner with no other distractions on. Goals like that. It doesn't matter what they are, but it just means that you know what you're working towards. You know what to say no to. If having one activity or weekend with your whole family is one of your goals, and you get the opportunity to go away for or do something on a weekend, then you can say no. You might not want to say no, but it means that you have that clarity. Or if it's something you don't want to do, but because it's taking you away from your goals, it gives you that clarity, knowing what your goals are, rather than just going year after year after year, week after week after week, and not getting those things done that are important to you, like spending time with your family or going to the beach once a month, which is one of my personal goals. If I don't do that and plan for it, then I'll never do it and I'll miss out on it. But it's important to me, so I plan for it and I can actively make it happen. And that's a really important tool to have, because I've decided that's my goal for this year. I plan for it, I do it, I make sure it happens, and that makes me feel good. It makes everyone else feel good, because when I'm happy, everyone else is happy. And that's the way goals work, really. It helps you make progress on those things that are important to you. So that's a really important tool, and it shouldn't be underestimated or fobbed off because it's hard to do. once you have that clarity around goals, it helps you know how to spend your time and what to spend your time on. That's really important. Routines are helpful with clarity as well, because you know what you have to do from day to day. You don't have to think about it, so it's saving that brain space. You see where I'm going? It just, when it's all recorded, all that information is there, and you don't have to keep thinking about it. And my last tool for clarity and information management is an app called Scannable, and this is more about information management. I think it's an iPad and iPhone app that is linked to Evernote. So that's how I got all my recipes and my show and tell calendar into Evernote. You just hold your iPad over the document and it scans it. It doesn't scan the whole picture, it just scans the document, because it can tell where the document is, and it uploads it straight to Evernote, and you tag it with what it is. And it's really so quick, and it means that you don't have to have a whole fridge covered in notes. You don't have to have sticky notes. You can just get these, anytime you get a list or things you have to remember, you open Scannable, you scan it and you save it to Evernote, set a reminder, and that's it. And it's just so quick and easy. It's like, a second brain that you can trust. Oh, sorry. So we're going on to the third system, and that's energy. So tools for having energy. So by energy, I mean sleeping well, eating well, exercising. All of these things give you energy. So I'm not going to tell you how to eat well, and I'm not going to tell you how to sleep well, and I'm not going to tell you how to exercise. I'm going to share with you some tools that I use to help me do those things. Spotify is the first one I use. I use Spotify to help me go to sleep, because there is music, there's a playlist on there called Sleep, and it is gorgeous, peaceful music. I use Spotify to help me meditate. So, that gives me huge energy when I meditate. And there's a playlist on there called, is it yoga and meditation or just meditation? There's playlists for workouts, there's playlists for focus, there's playlists for feeling creative. There are so many playlists for all the different things you need. And it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite tools. I don't pay any money for it. I just use the playlists. So I love it because it helps me focus, or it helps me go to sleep. Or I use Spotify. I've got a little shelf in my shower that's away from the water. I use Spotify to listen to music in the morning when I'm having my shower. I love it. So that's one of my favorite tools. There's also, I use YouTube for yoga, just for 15-minute, I use sometimes 15-minute yoga on YouTube. That's for stretching for sleep, or yoga for sleep. And there's, yoga for when you're sitting at your desk too long. I use YouTube for that, and that's a great tool. And YouTube is great for so many things, but that's one of the main ways that I use YouTube. And another tool for energy, and these are sort of left field maybe to what you're expecting for energy, but my third tool for energy is to reduce your screen glare. I only did this yesterday, and I did it at night, and I turned it down, and I could instantly feel my eyes just go, oh, thank you. And I know that you might have done it already, but it just, such a simple thing. And having that screen less glary eases that ache in your eyes, helps you go to sleep because it's not as bright and it's not playing with all those hormones and whatever it does, and sleep rhythms in your brain, which are really important. So they're a couple of tools for energy, because energy is a really important aspect of work-life balance and feeling balanced. If it's hard to feel balanced if you don't have that energy. So it's part of taking care of yourself and doing things that serve your body and your soul and your mind, and they're all related, as you can tell. Okay, how are we going for time? Oh, not too bad. A couple more. We're up to 12. I'm going into time management now. Time management, productivity and efficiency systems. These are a few tools that I use to help me with those things. The Pomodoro technique is where you set a timer, and you can get apps that sit on your computer that go for 25 minutes. So you sit down and you focus for 25 minutes, and then you have a 5-minute break, and then you do that again and again. It's so much easier to focus, and you'll be surprised at how much work you get done in just one of those blocks. Because when you've got the whole day ahead of you maybe, or a couple of hours, then it's easy to let that time go, and you think, oh, I've got ages, I'll just do a little bit of this. And you know, you open Google and you go down a rabbit warren, or same with Facebook. But if you just have this 25-minute block to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it in 25 minutes, it helps setting those boundaries and staying focused, which when you need to get things done, that's what you need to do. And it's not just on your computer. You can do it, I'm just going to do 1 Pomodoro of cleaning, and you get 25 minutes done of cleaning, and you know, you can achieve a lot in 25 minutes. The next one is strict workflow. Is something that I use similar to when I'm using Pomodoro if I'm doing some work, and it blocks sites. So you can select which sites you want to block, and they'll be things like Facebook and Pinterest or Google, whatever, so that you can't access them during your focus time. And you can set the time for how long you want to block them for. So you can stay focused on what you need to do and get more done, because, you know, Facebook and all those social media things, as much as they're important, they are energy sucking and they are time sucking. They're, you know, you can get lost for ages. So setting timers on the use of those things, once you've done your focus one, setting a timer on how long you're going to use Facebook for is a very important tool too. Okay, the next tool I use is called Dragon Dictation, and that's for getting notes written down quickly. It's an app on my iPad, and my phone, so I can talk into the app and it will instantly transcribe into words and then email it to myself. So if I've got an idea or I'm working through a blog post, I just talk it out and it emails me straight away, and there's my blog post, and I just have to do a bit of editing. So that's a really good way of getting ideas out or sending notes to yourself, and that's a great time saver and really efficient way to use your time. Apple TV is a really lovely thing that I've just discovered. Don't know if you know about it, but it's I use it to do my yoga, actually, because I'm not looking at a tiny screen to do my yoga, or I'm not sort of, you know, when you're up high and my iPad is down on the floor because I've just been on the floor. I can do it on the TV, and I've got a lot more room, which is really nice to do. That's in productivity and efficiency systems. I'm not sure why it's in that category. I might have to move that back into the energy category. Number 16 is Google Docs, and I put that in there as an efficiency one, because it means that I have documents stored in Google Docs and Dropbox, for example, because they're not clogging up and slowing down my Mac, because the more information I have on my hard drive, the slower it runs. So everything takes a lot longer. So by getting them out of the hard drive and into those other places and storing in the cloud is a great use of that tool and makes life much more efficient. I also use IFTTT, if this, then that, which is a great way of automating systems. Like when I post something in Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, I have an IFTTT recipe that instantly grabs it and saves it into Evernote so it's there, and all those images are there, and I can grab them then when I need to. But it's a record of what's there, and it happens without me knowing it. It's all set up. So in terms of automation and systems like that, it's great for those things. And the last tool under time management and productivity is having boundaries. Having boundaries for screen time, having boundaries for when you check your email, having boundaries for your work hours is a really important tool to have, especially when you have your kids around, because if they're old enough, they can learn from you, and you can model that thing that says, okay, my time has finished, so now I'm finishing my screen time. And they see you doing that. It helps with when you ask them to stop their screen time. So boundaries is a really important tool to set and to stick to when you can, to help you feel balanced, so you're not feeling like you're having to do these things all the time. You have boundaries, you set them, and you work to them, and that in itself makes you more focused and more efficient. Okay, so the last one is, the last system is managing mindset. And so again, I use Spotify for that, but there's also other meditation apps that I use, like Omvana and Calm. Headspace is a really nice one that you can use to, you know, just get into that ease and that flow, and to give yourself that space in your head to stop that rush and to step back and feel more in control. All of these things help that. I also listen to podcasts when I'm exercising. My two favourites at the moment are Natalie Sisson, the Suitcase Entrepreneur, and Amy Porterfield has some great podcasts at the moment for business. And they're really interesting and helpful and practical. So I can do that while I'm exercising. It makes me feel good, and I'm kind of working at the same time. Sometimes I just listen to music because that makes me feel good too. But, you know, it just depends on what I need and keeping me positive and like I'm moving forward. And my last tool, I think this is 21, is just the mindfulness and using that as a tool and considering it in my life. So use the way that I break down mindfulness from being a concept to reality is the senses, using the 5 senses. So being mindful when I taste, being mindful when to listen and to notice beautiful things like the rain or the wind, or, you know, someone crying, or the kids playing outside at the school, and just listening to that and being mindful about it and stopping and being quiet and enjoying it. You know, and feeling things and seeing beautiful things. I love seeing, I can see my vine leaves at the moment, and it's autumn, so they're gorgeous red against the green, you know, and enjoying that. And those things really help when you feel, just to notice the things that you love. And if you are constantly rushing, then you're not going to notice them, and you're not going to get those feel-good moments every now and then that just, you know, they might be little moments, but the amount that they can feed your soul and give you energy to go for a lot longer, you know, from such a little thing is huge. That something so little can make you feel good for a lot longer. And they're really important things to stop and be able to do. And that's why mindfulness is my last tool. So there's a quick list of 20 tools I use for balance. So they're under planning and preparation, clarity and information management, energy, time management, productivity and energy efficiency systems, and managing mindset. And, you know, there are heaps more under those categories, but they're just some really simple tools that you can access right now or do already that will help you feel more balanced, depending on which one of those system sets might resonate with you at the moment. There might be one of those areas that doesn't feel balanced for you at the moment. So that might be a really good trigger for you to implement them into your life, and you can do it straight away. So as I said, I'll give you a downloadable list of these so you can have that. I'll send that to you later today. So I also wanted to talk more about my Freedom Framework, because the Freedom Framework is something that has had such a big impact in my life, and I want to share it with everyone. So the Family Freedom Framework is 10 templates that I set up for you. I mean, the beauty of this is that it's a done-for-you system, because who's got time to stop and create an information management system when they've got already bits here, bits there, bits there, and it's working okay, but not quite, and there's paper everywhere, and you have to go here for this and here for that. You know, this is where the Freedom Framework comes into its own, because it's just one place for everything. So I've created a business one, a personal one, and a family one. But today I just want to talk about the family one, because that's the one that I think is so helpful for mums. If they have that family side of things under control, it will make the rest of life a whole lot easier. So the family one has, I would set up for you all these templates. So there's the meal planning database, where you can just do a search for whatever you need and work out and make your meal plan for the week in probably less than 5 minutes, and then make your shopping list and off you go. So quick. There's a template for things to do master list, and this includes around your house, as a family, in the garden, inside, you know, all those sorts of things. You can just brain dump all of that stuff, and there's a template for you, and you can keep it all in one place. There's the password manager. There's a holiday planner and a template, so that every time you go on holiday, you've got a list of things that you need to take with you. Get my hair sorted. A list of things that you need to take with you, so that you don't have to remember that stuff every time you go on holiday. It's all there. It's all done once. And you can just go through your list every time you go away, and it's done. Birthday party planning, same thing. Every time you have a party, you can work out what you need to do and just go back to it each time you have a party. Now, if you have 2 or 3 kids, that's a great resource to have, so that you know that you've got to get napkins. You've got to work out what food you're having. Are you having, you know, a piñata or a cake or whatever, and make those decisions, record it in there, and then next time you have a party, it's all there and you've got a list. You don't have to replan it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. Individual child files. So if you've got artwork that is kind of 3D and you can't really store it in a folder, you can take a picture of it and store it in your Evernote. If you've got present wish lists, if you've got, you know, their shoe sizes and their clothes sizes, and just information about their swimming lessons or their tennis lessons or doctor medical information, it can all be in Evernote, and I can set it up for you. There's a Christmas planner, there's family budget tracker, there's a weekly family routine template. So if you've got, you know, because not every day is the same and you've got different things on different days, you can put it all in Evernote and access it like that. And then there's resources and references. So, you know, when you see a resource about cyber safety or parenting toddlers or, you know, gluten-free food for kids, you can save it all in Evernote and it's all there. All of that information about your family is there in one place, accessible anytime, anywhere. So if you want more information about the Freedom Framework or the Business Freedom Framework or the Personal Freedom Framework, or how you can get all 3 for an amazing price, then check out aerliewildy.com/freedom-framework. So for anyone today who wants to purchase the Family Freedom Framework or one other Freedom Framework, I don't mind if it's the family one or the personal one or the business one, I will give you an extra free balance coaching session. So that's $97 worth at least if you only buy one Freedom Framework, plus a free coaching session, which is, you know, we can talk about parenting, we can talk about stress, we can talk about getting things done, time management, and problem solve some strategies to help you. And that's valued at $80. So you get $177 worth of stuff, for just $97, but even a better price if you buy 2 or 3 from Freedom Frameworks too. But that's the special thing that I want to offer to you today for registering for this webinar, learning about balance tools and helping you improve your balance and just set some of these things up. And if you want help setting some of these things up, I'm here to help you, and I would love to help you. So that's my offer today. I will send it to you via email. So if you buy a Freedom Framework, I will give you another hour's coaching for free. So it's $177 down to valued at $177, only for $97. So it's a bit of a bargain. And you get me and all my amazing ideas and solutions and experience. And I can't wait to help some of you and work with some of you, because, you know, I get such a buzz from doing that. And each time I do it, I learn more about what people need. And that just, you know, gives me feel-good feelings too. So thank you so much for joining me. I am really looking forward to working with you. And if you have any questions, send me an email, reply to the emails that you'll get. I'll send you a download with all of this information, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.